What is the biggest mistake you've seen a friend or family member make, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, first, I told my dad to invest in Netflix when they were trading at about 78, and he didn't listen. Oh. So that's one. The other mistake I've seen a lot of young people, especially in my college classes, do is throw a lot of their money into the equity markets, but put all their eggs in one basket. They look at one company and they say, I have a lot of optimism about this company. I think it's going to do well. One friend put a little too much in one company, sold it at a loss, and then a month later they were up 24%. And they lost more money than they could have afforded to lose at the time. They had to take on another job because they still had to pay their rent. There are two lessons that I really want to share with all of you that you should take moving forward. First, diversify. If you are going to put your money anywhere, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you have diverse investments because you can't count on one being the winning horse. And then second, don't ever put more money into the equity markets or any market that's volatile that you can afford to lose. Whenever I was younger, I would joke with my dad also. He said he had to make a choice between putting money in Google or saving money for my college education. Google's done very well, but it could have gone the other way also. If he put all that money and the company failed, I would not have the funds for my college education right now. So diversify and never put more money away than you can afford to lose.
Did you buy some Google?
He did later.
In the future, anything you tell your dad, make sure you call me as well. I'll buy Netflix at 78. On that side, continuing with Brittany.
Yes. Well, my financial mistake that I'm familiar with is a little bit different than investing money and losing it. It's actually a little more about debt. So my mother bought a car on a credit card, and there was a deal with the credit card where if she made every payment on time, it would have a 0% interest rate. Well, the family emergency came up and she ended up getting sick, and lo and behold, missed a payment. And then that interest rate instantly went from 0% to 20%. So she suddenly started billing that interest fast. And she said that was the biggest financial mistake she has ever made. And I guess the thing that I really learned from that is if you have a significant other, make sure they know about the bills that need to be paid in case a family emergency does come up and someone else needs to take care of it. And even better than that, if you have the option to set up an automatic payment plan, I'd say that's the best way to go.
Thank you. We'll finish over here with Michael. What have you seen a family or friend make in terms of a mistake, and what did you learn from that?
I'm going to answer this question slightly differently by generalizing this mistake to, I guess, a majority of us here, students. I think, not only from my experience, but also what I see in different classrooms, is that a mistake that I see that is constantly perpetuated throughout, I guess, society is the notion that parents should give their child an allowance. And okay, yes, very radical. What's wrong with this is that even in college, and even in a place like CMU, where we pay over $60,000 a year to go, kids expect that their parents will deposit a $1,000 check in their bank account every month. And they run under the assumption that, oh, I have 1 month to spend $1,000, not, oh, I know I'm going to get $1,000 the next month, and I should try to save as much as I can get. In the personal finance class that I teach, we have an investing module as well, and what we do is that we say that whatever money you don't spend is potentially future income for you. It's basically money that adds to your own net worth. It's not necessarily something that replenishes every month or something that continues to go away. That in itself is almost like an asset. It's like a growing asset that you can accumulate over time. When we see kids with allowances, we often find that I've seen a lot of friends make a lot of the mistakes mentioned before by the previous speakers, where they assume that, oh, I have $1,000, I should spend $1,000. If I have money left over, my parents are going to look at my bank account and say, oh, I'm going to reduce your allowance the next month. So it's not a matter of necessarily saying that, oh, should I save a fixed percentage of my income, but rather whatever I don't spend is future income for me.